Welcome back to the Fruitful Three Show, where today we try to make our lives and your lives more fruitful. We are your host. I'm Isaiah, and this is Levi. Woo! Today we are going to explore a technology that's longer than the future. It's here. It's shaping everything from how we work to how we think. Artificial intelligence, our new ally, or our greatest threat. In this episode, we'll walk the fine line between progress and peril, uncovering the promises AI brings, the danger it hides, and the conspiracies that may be more real than you think. Let's journey into the AI frontier. So first off, merch store. I always gotta, I actually was gonna write something this time, be creative. Didn't get to it.
I called it the swag store on Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you out here promoting? There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've added some new stuff, not for Fruitful 3, unfortunately, but it's for Ice Beats. So if you are into music and stuff, Ice Beats is
Sunday. We need to get together and put my nonprofit stuff on there too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, and then weekly recap. Do you got a weekly recap, Levi?
Not really.
Not really.
Nope. I kind of left that all out of it because that took too long last week. I do.
It took just the amount of time.
So you know how last week we were talking about like the boomers and all that stuff,
Gen Zs
and Gen Zs,
millennials and Gen X
and different generations, right?
Yeah.
So there was a video that surfaced the interweb this week, and it was really kind of interesting because it kind of touched on that topic a little bit again, but it deals with baby boomers telling kids to go get a job and make money and save your money and all this other stuff, and has a boomer giving millennials and Gen Zers financial advice, which is great. I have no problem with that. But it was kind of like one of those duet videos where it had another guy listening to this whole conversation.
The whole the remix or whatever.
Kind of, yeah. Where it's like a split screen.
Yeah, the remix.
So it was funny because this guy puts his video on pause and he goes, all right, well, let me run the math here. And he ran the math of incomes during the baby boomers' time and how much money they could have left over and saved after bills and all that stuff came out, right? So then he goes, okay, so let's go through today's generation.
2024.
Yep, good old 2024. So he went through and did all that, and he goes, how in the world are you supposed to be making money? How are you supposed to save money? How are you supposed to take all this financial advice when literally your salary income is your spending income, or you're spending more virtually than what you're making? So what he did is he said, okay, so let's crunch a few more numbers. Do you know what the minimum wage should be for our economy today?
Isn't that like $45 or somewhere around there?
Minimum. So the minimum, right? So 45, you're doing good. You're probably considered middle class.
Oh, are you?
The minimum of what you need, is $30 an hour. Minimum. Because on average, you'd be saving $100 to $200 a month off of your monthly expenses. I mean, that is, like I said, that's using average numbers, so I'm not saying that's 100% correct, but it's crazy to think about that. On average, if you average every expense out, the minimum wage should be no less than $30 an hour.
Then I'm in the poor class.
I saw that surface and I'm like, that's interesting because we just talked about that last week, and now you have a baby boomer trying to give a Gen Zer advice, and his financial advice doesn't quite match reality.
So is that your recap, your weekly recap?
That'll be my weekly recap. Also, since we're getting into this whole AI thing,
Yeah.
did I send you the video earlier today
Which one? You said
about
three.
about the fungus?
Fungus.
Yeah. Did I send that to you? I might not have. But
I mean, you sent me a bunch of stuff. You sent me the chick. Oh, the $10,000 reward fungus. That one.
No, man.
Or how music affects the frontal lobe.
No, not that one. I must not have sent that to you.
Yeah, you didn't send me nothing.
Gosh dang it. So I saw this video, and they have officially figured out how to make a human out of fungus and use AI to actually make it function.
I mean, they were able to clone a cow back in the late 80s. Like, obviously, they figured out how to clone humans by now.
So, yeah, which is crazy to think about. And like and then you basically send like an electrode charge through it, and it functions exactly like how a human should, which is crazy to think about because
it's going to take over the world, bro.
Yeah. So there's some food for thought as we dive into this whole AI thing. That's
that was meant for segment 2.
cool.
Because segment 1 is how AI helps the world, the pros.
Yeah, I thought I sent you that. But yeah, like I said, that's just some
food for thought.
Food for thought as we dive into this.
All right.
You guys started off with a cool story, man.
Yeah, you gotta get the hook in, bro.
There's the hook.
The hook. You gotta go fishing, bro.
This segment 1. Yeah, let's go.
Imagine a world where machines never sleep. A world where decisions are made in microseconds. Where errors are a thing of the past and work carries on relentlessly, tirelessly, 24/7. Welcome to the AI frontier. We have entered a new era. Artificial intelligence, once the stuff of science fiction, is now shaping our reality, and its promises are boundless. AI can streamline businesses, reducing human error to a whisper in the wind. Imagine dangerous tasks once reserved for human hands now performed by cold, calculated machines. Workers are safe, businesses more efficient. AI is everywhere, guiding us through city streets with precision, diagnosing illnesses with unmatched accuracy, even saving lives before we know they were in danger. From medicine to finance, AI is the hidden hand shaping our world. It's always learning, always working, but here's the catch. It never tires. Dun, dun, dun. Do you use AI?
Sometimes.
I am before.
Like, mostly papers.
Oh, yeah? I use AI, too. Actually, I use it a lot.
ChatGPT is awesome. If anyone out there needs it.
You got to take ChatGPT, and then you got to go to Humanizer AI to humanize your text, because ChatGPT doesn't do it. So you got to humanize it that way. Yeah. Then you got to use the AI SEO tools to run your, okay, is everything looking good? I don't know what else. Oh, and then you got to use AI to summarize articles, AI to summarize YouTube videos.
So you're talking about being more, I just thought about this, the businesses being more efficient.
Yeah.
So this was a few months ago, but I was reading an article. There was a restaurant that actually used AI for servers, and they actually saw the production of it go up in this restaurant, but they saw the money value go down.
Well, because I think customers would really appreciate more of a
like physical
connection, have a conversation. Especially in bars, they want to tell someone their problems. They don't want to tell a robot their problems.
I mean, basically all this robot did is it went out there, and then you gave it your order, it went back, got your food, and brought it back out to you.
And was like, here's your blah, blah, blah. And that was it. Instead of, adding some, like, spice to it, like, here's your blah, blah, blah with blah, blah, blah. this is awesome, the best meal on the menu, or the best drink on the menu. It's fire. I think it's fire, you know. You can also ask recommendations when you ask, well, when they're trying to take the order. But with AI, you probably get the whole fucking menu.
As we were just talking about the whole business as being more efficient, that's exactly why we were going into the pros and cons, because like I said, there is a pro to that, but there's also a con as well.
Workers are safe. It has helped provide better stuff, I guess. I am also blanking on words tonight too, buddy. AI is now taking over maps.
You said guiding us through city streets and precision, and it made me think of the one TV show where the guy helped people because somehow AI, they had this whole government system that AI used to find people. And
was it God Friended Me? Or so that's kind of like the plot of what God Friended Me is.
No,
because it's like they got followed on Facebook by God, and then he kept getting like friend requests or something. People he had to help.
No, it was
no. Oh, are you talking about the guy that
played Jesus Christ and then he played in
the movie last year,
The Sound of Freedom?
Yeah, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know what shows he's played in.
Jim Caviezel.
You know.
Person of interest.
He's in Person of Interest? Oh, he was in Person of Interest.
Because he was the guy who...
Oh, that's why he always looks so familiar. Dude, I haven't seen that show since it, like, came out.
Yeah, like, I think it was only out for, like, 2011 to 2016 is what I just said on Google.
Yeah, I remember it being on 2011 because Dad and Eli would always watch it, but not me.
And also, you say guiding through streets, it makes me think of God's Eye and like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Just a few relatable scenarios of what AI is capable of doing.
Yeah, which that'll lead to segment 2, which is the dark side. Well, not really the dark side, but cons. And as per request of you today, I added this whole pros of AI in music production, broski.
Okay.
So it for AI, this can also happen in business too. It can be cost effective. AI music tools are more affordable than traditional recording setups, making professional results accessible to a wider range of artists. There are some really cool tools. I'm just gonna mention a couple. That AI, there's a stem remover or whatever, stem something. Oh, stem splitter, I think it's called. It splits the stems, so you get the kick by itself, or the drums, I guess, by itself. You get the melody by itself. You get the chords by itself. You know, you can split it, or it'll split by piano and violin and drums. Really cool. Make sampling easy, bro. A blast. There's other cool things. Like, they are now experimenting with AI EQ, mixing for you, mixing and mastering for you, so you can have professional grade.
So did you know, and we'll get into kind of like the cons of this in segment 2, right? Mm-hmm. But did you know that there are actually albums out there that is 100% produced by AIs?
Yeah, you can produce a whole song. You can do it for free if you really want. It's just going to take you, it don't take very long. You can do it for free. So increased creative freedom. By handling technical tasks, AI allows musicians to focus more on creativity. Yes and no.
I don't, so reading that, the only person I can think of is, Dr. Dre comes to my mind, because you look at his stuff and the way he is able to blend things. He could find stuff from the 30s and 40s and just be one beat that he liked from a soundtrack back then.
Yeah, you could take one bar
and you could. So I mean, yeah, I understand the whole creativity part of it, but like I said, I just keep thinking of like Dr. Dre because I think you might be more creative if you
Do it yourself.
took the time to actually listen to a whole bunch of deals and be like, hey, I like that, and then
I think where it's trying to go is like the mixing and mastering. Like it'll help you mix and master, so then you can it'll help you so you can see what it's doing, and then you can mix and master with it and make it your own, and not be stuck there for hours mixing and mastering it. You can dial up and down what AI has already done.
That's okay. I can see that side of it.
Vocal diversity. AI enables experimentation with vocal styles that may be financially or logistically out of reach for many producers. Yeah, you can just go and copy someone's voice, like Drake. There's a whole AI song last year that dropped by Drake that wasn't Drake in a lawsuit, and they didn't even know who it was. They couldn't even bring the lawsuit to him because they didn't know who he was. So there's that. Also, I've noticed, because I have played around with AI music a little bit, there's a lot of like real artists that AI copies, which that will be in the cons, I'm pretty sure.
So when you're saying like vocal styles and stuff like that, so can AI, instead of using actual auto-tunes, can you just like go into AIs and change that to an auto-tune, and then AI does it for you?
Cool. Yeah, that's kind of what an auto-tune.
Well, I know kind of what auto-tunes are, but
yeah, but there's like you now have like sample packs that where you can just take this, slide it into your mixer, and it'll put them.
What I'm just saying is, like, do you go back to the day of like T-Pain?
Yeah.
And he was already using like auto-tunes back then. But yet it wasn't near as advanced as today.
They've played around with it a lot.
That's what I'm saying is
efficiency. AI speeds up composing, mixing, mastering, and sound design, saving time up to 90% of studio cost. That's basically what I've been talking about this whole time. So I'm going to just skip that for now because we've already covered it. Collaboration. AI facilitates real-time collaboration between artists across the globe. With the advancement of being able to rap over a phone because of the phone wars between Android and, well, I should say Samsung and Apple, we now have mics that are pretty close to recording mics, plus the AI mixing and mastering to add to it that will help make it sound better. Collaboration is now easier. You can go with anybody like Connor Price. He'll pick a spot on the globe and he'll find people in that area and he'll rap over the phone and he'll make a whole song, bro. Yeah. Enhanced creativity. AI tools can suggest melodies, harmonies, and chord progressions, extending the creative potential of musicians. That is true. I have played around with that, but some AI tools are real basic. They just do the same patterns over, and it's like, nah. Future market potential. The AI music industry is projected to reach $1.1 billion by 2027, with 50% of music potentially being AI generated by 2030. So there's that.
Yay, no more real artists.
Woo! Yay.
Yay.
So, what happens when the machine becomes... I put the cons with the cons. Okay. Yeah, what happens when the machine becomes smarter than the maker? Efficiency and precision of alluring, but is that all AI brings to the table? Can we trust something that never sleeps, never feels, never errs? Are
we pirates?
What happens when perfection becomes too perfect? That's where the cons come in, The pitfalls of AI, shadows lurking in the code. people pushing the limits of AI and what AI can do, changing the way that AI can think, that we have to constantly go and check code, and AI creating secret languages with each other.
Dude, you're making it sound like the Matrix, man.
So I'm just spitting the truth right now. I'm saying that like Facebook had to close down two of their AI servers because they were creating a secret language between each other. So yeah.
You're reminding me of the Matrix.
Yeah, I know.
You like went on this whole spew, and all I could think of was all the codes.
Well, do you really want to know my notes? That was where I started. I started with simulation. Many are unwilling to see the Matrix. That's a quote from the Matrix. So
is it weird that like a lot of Hollywood and everybody else predicted a lot of this stuff? And
yeah, well, they also had a lot of, well, you look at like iRobot, like there was AI way back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
And it just progressively kept getting bigger. So they had this idea, and they were like, oh, it's like how comics started.
Yeah.
You know, all the artists had to do was read the newspaper and be like, oh, I want to create a superhero about this dude.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're talking about like the pitfalls of AI, and it's funny how a lot of movies way back then was already talking about the downfall of AI and technology.
Okay, hold on. So
is this getting...
No, there's something I just realized that you just made me think of. So there is a theory out there on a different podcast. I forget the name of the podcast. It's some bearded guy. I do remember that. But he presented this theory that there's only going to be one more pope. There's only one more position that they predicted at the end of Pope Francis, which is the pope right now, right? Okay. And that takes over in 2027. If you see the future market potential is 1.1 billion by 2027, is the new, and you're talking about AI being able to generate people, them taking fungus and generating people using AI and stuff like that. You think they are able to create the Antichrist by 2027? Because we do know that the Antichrist is somebody, right?
Yeah.
And there is a theory out there that Antichrist is actually going to be like AI made.
It could be.
So 2027 is also the theory of when the world starts to end.
It could be.
And then the 7 years, which would put it to 2034. So there's some food for thought there. Mind-boggling. Awesome, bro.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy.
There's a lot, bro. A lot. Section 2. Since we've already started going. But for every promise AI makes, there's a shadow it casts. A shadow of potential disaster. Sure, it's efficient. But at what cost? What happens to the humans replaced by this perfect worker who never asks for a break, never demands a raise? Jobs are disappearing. Entire industry is shifting. We say AI brings convenience, but it also brings fear. Fear of displacement, fear of becoming obsolete. And then there's the price. Implementing AI isn't cheap. The numbers are staggering. Millions, sometimes more. Not to mention AI is foolproof. It degrades over time, systems break, and requires constant updates. When a human makes a mistake, there's a process, a lesson learned. But AI, it doesn't learn unless it's told to. A robot doesn't dream. It doesn't feel. It doesn't know what it means to be human. Anything you want to add to that? Also, another thing is we know that if you become a sloth, you degrade your body quicker. So if AI takes over, then we become sloths, and that's the potential downside of that. We degrade. You know, our life expectancy has gone down way a lot.
What concerns me about this whole thing is, okay, so let me just flip this script here a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
We as humans, we all have different ideas we all create things differently, so on and so forth, right? So, and then that last part is a robot doesn't dream, it doesn't feel, it doesn't know what it means to be human.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if the AI actually somehow develops feelings, or it starts to get a different vision, or...
Well, that's where because they all have teams that are constantly watching code, checking servers, blah, 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 and doing maintenance repair like once a week or whatever, maybe even every night, while we're sleeping. You never know. That they're trying to catch it, but there can be, like hidden codes that can just slide under the human eye,
Yeah.
And maybe they're using AI to understand AI or to quickly dissect AI to make sure there's no problems, and that AI could tell that AI, hey, don't tell the human that I have this code,
Like, I understand there's a lot of good things AI is used for, but I have a feeling we're going to get so dependent on it, and then we're not going to...
Yeah, it's
because AI is so easily accessible, and it makes your life 10 times easier because I could
literally write a story, sell it for millions of dollars. Well, sell it for normal price, but make millions of dollars. And that's all I have to do. I just have to type my idea out, and it writes me a story.
Yeah. I mean, I just use Chat GPT for that too, because like you could go in there and say, hey, I need a paragraph on this topic or something, and it'll write you your paragraph. The downfall of that is you're not getting creative. You're not putting in the effort to try to solve that. Or
I do write like my blogs and stuff with AI. I normally write as much as I can, whatever I can. And once I'm stuck, hitting the main key points, but once I'm stuck, it's like, okay, I need to turn this paragraph into this, it's like AI, help me.
So if you haven't noticed, there are certain things on the Pioneer's End page, and I'm pretty sure if you look at them, you can tell they're from Chat GPT.
Well, I've noticed your, I haven't looked at Pioneer's End, but I've looked at your nonprofit page. I'm like, that motherfucker used GPT.
Yeah. So it wasn't so like, it's more the fact of like, sometimes I'll go in there and I will actually get creative and I'll write it out myself. And then what I'll do is I'll put it in Chat GPT and I'll be like, help me make this more professional.
Exactly. Like, that's what I do.
So then it's
because like if you just start with the basic scratch of write me a paragraph about this, it doesn't have your personality, it doesn't have your feelings, your emotion attached to it, where if you do write that much, it can attach that emotion to it, and then you got to reread it and edit it however pleases you, where it feels like you're reaching out.
And that's the other thing too, is like you go through and like even in school, there's this class called like creative writing, or like when you're planning your future, you have what they call a dream board. The sad part is when you start relying on AI to help you get those things or do that, I think it takes away from the actual person. And they're not like, for example, we were talking about last week how Gen Zers are lazy, or that was one of the comments. The question I have this week is, since we're talking about this, is it the fact that Gen Zers have a bunch of access to AI and baby boomers actually had to go work for something? Like, I mean, that's, while we're here talking about that topic, that was one of the questions that popped into my head. You didn't have access to things. You had to
go out and actually do something.
Exactly. And then it's like, and you were talking about life lessons, right? Or like mistakes. You can go and, let's say, baby boomers, they wrote a paper, took a test or something in school, got an F. They probably went home and got a good old ass whooping from mom and dad too. I'm not going to deny that. They were like, oh, hey, I failed in school. My mom and dad just gave me an ass whooping. I don't want that again. I'm going to study harder. Now you can go to school and you could probably pass every single class with AI.
Yeah.
As bad as that sounds.
Unfortunately, that is I wish I knew about this stuff. Would have made my life easier instead of spending hours trying to find the answers.
But see, then it's like, but then at that point are you really, like, what, as back to the whole relying on AI, are you really, once you get dependent on AI, are you really learning a lesson when you screw up?
Probably not.
No, because you're going to blame AI for the screw up when it wasn't physically one of your products.
Well, I know because I use AI a lot for this podcast, and I know I have spent a whole hour writing out prompts because AI kept taking my research that I did and screwing it up. And it's like, no, I want it this way. I want it this way. I want it this way. And it's like, I could have just wrote this out myself. I would have been so much quicker, but no, I had to be the new AI. I had to be Gen Z, and so there are problems. So if you do use AI, you got to double check your work. Okay. No quick freebies. I always got to double check my work when I use it. So cons and the AI of AI in music production. Quality and emotional depth. AI struggles to replicate the emotional subtleties, oh my goodness, of live performances, leading to concerns about overly polished or impersonal music.
So let me just put that on that note. So subsidies of live performances, right? Mm-hmm. So if we go AI in the music industry, like let's just say eventually AI takes over the music industry world, is there still going to be concerts?
Well, yeah, there'll be like holograms and like basically how the Sphere is down in Vegas. It'll be just like that, but a hologram on the stage.
That's
yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if I like that idea.
I'm not gonna pay $200, $400, whatever dollars. I mean, to just go and see it. I'm not. No,
I don't go to many concerts myself, but I think if I went to a concert, I would want to actually see somebody live on stage and make fun of them if they accidentally screw up the lyrics to their
or because like the concerts I've been to, they'll be up. Well, two of the concerts I've been to, they're up on stage. They'll have a backstage, and I'm always in the mosh pit because I gotta get loud in the mosh pit. So I'm able to run to the side when they're walking back to the front stage. I can touch them or touch them, and everything, and that's really cool.
I think it's really cool too because there's a lot of concerts out there where people will literally stop a concert if there's something. Like the other day, this was probably a couple weeks ago, I saw somebody stopped their concert in the middle of a song and told their band to stop and everything because somebody hit a lady. And said, security, get him out of here. And you don't do that. I mean,
there's been other times, like even artists that do a lot of drugs, they will stop their concert when they see someone overdosing.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, we need medics now.
Yeah. So the question is like when you have AI concerts,
who's gonna
interrupt? I mean, who's gonna stop that type of?
Are you gonna allow AI to have cameras in there that's analyzing everybody's face and emotional expressions at that point?
Exactly.
And that one's fainted, blood pressure's low or something.
Exactly.
We need medics now. Ethical issues. AI raises questions about originality, copyright infringement, and fair compensation for human artists. Like what I said last year, where they made a whole song using Drake's voice, made him millions of dollars. Well, I think he donated it to charity.
Yeah.
But that's a big copyright infringement right there.
The other thing too is we're going back to originality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to bring up Kenny Chesney, for example, because Kenny Chesney basically sits on a pontoon and sits on a boat and has a whole bunch of boat parties and so on and so forth, and kind of has his own beach and everything else. But a lot of his music is inspired by the people that he meets. Like, he gets to know them while they're at his bar or this and that, or on his beach and pontoon, and he gets to kind of know their life story, and then he goes and
makes a song
about it. Or I mean, there's a bunch of artists out there that, I mean, I'll put one even closer, Hardy. There's a song out there that was, I don't know, it might be 2 or 3 years old by now, but it's called Wait in the Truck. It was literally a story that he heard, and he thought it was about this lady being abused, and this other guy went and killed the boyfriend for her and stuff, and now locked in jail, and she's so happy that she can live a free life of abuse and stuff like that, right? So you hear stories like that, it makes you feel inspired. And so you go and you write a song like that, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to take this song or this story that I read and kind of twist it to my own version. I mean, Hardy being a country boy. And so he's like, oh, let's say Wait in the Truck. Let's make like this country version more realistic country-wise. But I mean, that goes back to like originality, as you read things or you see things or you hear things, and it's like, ooh, that's cool. I'm going to go write a song about it.
Mm-hmm. Job security. The rise of AI in music production threatens traditional musicians' roles such as session singers, potentially leading to job losses. You can even create your own little samples if you want, which those were great for backup singers.
Yeah.
You know, they got your name out there. Skepticism. A significant portion of producers are wary of AI's influence on music, with 17.3% thinking it worsens the creative process. I think if you use it the right way, it's a powerful tool that can help boost your creativity, but if you use it too much, then where's the creative process?
It goes back to the dependency of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we were just talking earlier, is if you get dependent on AI, you're in for a world of hurt.
Exactly. Over-reliance. Concerns that exist that AI could diminish the value of human talent and creativity in the long term.
I absolutely 100% agree with that. You look all over, and I mean, let's just say The Voice or America's Got Talent, or is American Idol still on? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. But you take stuff like that, and it's incredible of what some of those people are able to fluctuate their voices or do with their voices, or you can take like a song, and there's even people out there that can take like songs, like a rap song, and turn it country, or
take a country song and turn it rap.
Yeah, it's like, and to have the ability to do that is phenomenal. Now, yes, I understand AI can go and do that for you, but for someone to go and do that, well, even the other day, as America's Got Talent, I was not like this season, I don't know what season it was, but I scrolled through Facebook, and this guy did children rhymes and stuff in different voices. He did one with like Eminem and one with like Pitbull and Jay-Z and so on and so forth. I don't remember. Oh, Snoop Dogg was one, and I don't remember what the
Snoop D-O-double-G.
But it's just crazy of how you can have people impersonate that stuff. And if you get, keyword here is, if you get dependent on AI doing that, you're gonna kill a lot of that talent that's out there.
That create that emotional status. Ethics. That's another question. Do we trust AI to handle our data, our most personal information?
Hell no.
What if it makes the wrong decision based on biased data, on faulty inputs? It's already happened. facial recognition systems misidentifying people, biased hiring algorithms, privacy invaded with a second thought. And all of this without the faintest whisper of guilt. AI can be our greatest ally or our worst nightmare, and yet there's something even more disturbing. Something lurking just beneath the surface. The conspiracies. The dark rumors of AI. Let's go deeper into the abyss. Now we step into the shadows. Beyond the corporate promises of ethical debates. There's another side to AI, a darker side. Have you heard of Rocco's Basilisk, a thought experiment so terrifying that some believe just hearing about it might doom you. What? The theory goes like this. What if, in the future, a superintelligent AI comes into being? Kind of what the theory I was saying. And what if, in its infinite wisdom, it decides to punish everyone who didn't help bring it into existence?
Wait, hold on. Are we going off of iRobot here?
I don't remember the plot to iRobot other than Will Smith killing robots.
Yeah, but from what I remember of iRobot is the lady kind of made AI and helped create AI, and then all of a sudden it turned against humans and started killing all humans, and then Will Smith decided he is gonna save the day.
Wasn't like the lady also like kind of like trapped, like imprisoned? I don't remember. It's been a while, but that's kind of one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. So think about it. Your actions today judged by a godlike machine tomorrow. A machine so powerful it could recreate a version of you just to make you suffer. Imagine a future entity reaching back through time to ensure its own creation, punishing those who didn't help. Retroactive terror. And then there's the dead internet theory. Some say the internet we know died long ago. That's what we're interacting with now. It's not humans at all. It's AI. AI bots have flooded the web, dominating conversation, influencing culture, swaying options. The majority of online content that says...
Is it options or opinions, bro?
Oh, yeah. Opinions. The same football terms, opinions. The majority of online content, they say, isn't even created by humans anymore. By 2025, 99% of the internet could be AI generated. What does that mean for you? For your decisions? For your very reality?
So Google is already on this.
What do you mean?
If you haven't noticed, if you type anything into Google, like you type a question into Google, it'll do an AI generated answer.
Yeah.
And then you can go down and click your different links and everything else. But your first option is your AI generated.
So this is the plot to the Matrix, honestly. But there is something I would like to mention about the Google. So last week when I was doing research on Gen Zs and like 1913 and all that stuff, it gave me a whole list of the bad stuff, with an actual proper source that it was legitimate. When I went back to refind it, because I was doing it on my phone, when I went back, I didn't save the link, but when I went back on my computer or on my phone, they took all the stuff that said you didn't have the right to vote and blah, blah, blah. They took that all off of the AI generated. They scanned through it that quickly, figured out, hey, that's putting out misinformation. And they switched it.
Speaking of misinformation, right?
Yeah.
This can be a topic for a later date. But did you know news reporters are actually starting to leave newsrooms because the media is leaving truths out of...
Yeah.
And news reporters are starting to finally get irritated with it, that they're like, nope, we no longer want your biased opinions. We want to be a straight shooter and cut it down the middle and leave.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, you were talking about how AI eliminated certain things and stuff, and yeah.
Labeled it as misinformation.
Yep. So
when I
that
was doing
that goes.
research.
So yeah, that reminded me of that deal that I read about earlier.
And then there's the darker conspiracy. Deep fakes so realistic, entire governments could be brought to their knees. Wars could be started with a single falsified video. AI-generated content could manipulate everything we hold dear. I'm just going to bring this up. Last year, they either made the Pentagon explode or they made the White House explode, and people actually believed it because it's all over social media. It was trending that day, and the government came out and said, that's AI. We've already done an investigation. That's AI. Everything is just fine. So are we already living in a world controlled by AI? And if so, who is really in control?
So you're talking about manipulation and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And possibly living in already an AI type world. So my question is going back to, like, say, the news reporters, like reading that where they were taking, I mean, since your deal sparked that. So what if those news reporters are reading AI scripts?
They could be.
That's what I'm saying, is they very well could be. And I mean, that's the thing with, like, media these days. And that's the other thing too, is like with, for example, the upcoming election, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get into, like, politics here, but it's kind of hard not to, because you see it everywhere now that the election is like a month away.
It was official. It was registration voter appreciation or whatever.
What I'm getting at is, you see all these deals that bash Trump or bash Kamala or make Trump look good or make Kamala look good, right? Now, which ones are true and which ones are false? Are those AI generated to push your perspective, push your ideologies, push your what's the word I'm looking for? It ain't 100% ideology, but
I know I'm not supposed to turn my back to the camera, but there's why I trust in this little book right here. You see it? Don't believe in politics. You just got to believe in this book. And I'm not trying to push my agenda on you of Christianity. I want you to believe in some type of God.
You gotta believe in something or you fall for everything.
Exactly.
However that saying goes. Exactly. I don't think I quoted that right, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, that's a guide to how to live life. If you want to know, that is a guide to how to live life. It will tell you literally the same thing that happened in that book, that they talked about in that book, is exactly the same thing that's happening in this world today.
The Bible is the only book that'll tell you where you came from, how you should live your life in the meantime, and where you'll go when you die. So that's your three principles out of your Bible.
And the Bible is Jesus was the only person that said, I am. Like when Buddha passed, he said, I am not the way. Or that might have been Muhammad.
Yeah.
But they basically, both Muhammad and Buddha said they were not the way. We're just...
And not trying to push biblical beliefs here, because, like, we are both Christians, but...
I mean, I'm deeply Christian. I know you're deeply Christian, but I think if you at least believe that there's a higher being, then you're golden for what you want to believe in. I will respect you for that much. I don't really care if you're an atheist, but like, believe in something, you know?
I totally lost where I was going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. The Bible is also, I would say, the only book that they keep finding manuscripts for.
And they keep finding archaeology, architects,
Dead Sea Scrolls,
archaeologists find, whatever those things are, treasures. I don't know what you want to call them.
Yep, they found Noah's Ark. They still find all this.
They believe somewhere in the Old Testament it talks about a giant stone that had writing on it. They believe they found that. they found the spot where God sent fireballs to destroy the city or the town, whatever, for Israel, the tribes of Israel to pass through. They found that spot.
There's a lot of things in the Bible that the Bible talks about, and today people have found these things, and to this day people still scientifically cannot explain how it happened or how it formed. Obviously, as if you've done several research and you can't figure out how this is physically possible, then you go back to reading the Bible and you're like, start figuring out the location of it, and you're like, dude, right here, bro, we got it.
I can see like that just being like the plot of a 90s movie, you know, where they have the stoner dude just like, duh, dude, it's right here, man.
Dude, where's my car, man? No, there's an actual something else I wanted to say about the Bible, but I can't think of.
Well, we can make that a topic. We can go through all the religions. Maybe we can even get Pastor Jeff involved.
Yeah,
through that. Was there anything else?
No.
You wanted to add about the Bible? I just wanted to add something real quick. Deepfakes, so realistic. They now have it mastered to where they can make humanized women, right? Like beautiful women that look like real. They can trick people using that. There's probably an OnlyFans page dedicated to AI models of women. And if there's not, hey, guess what? I just gave you a new business venture. You're welcome.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What? Transformers?
No. Do you remember the old TV show Buffy?
Like the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit. I never really watched the whole series.
Shallow, my wife, is big on the series and was watching it like a month or so ago.
She rewatched it a month ago. So is that like her like new like yearly annual thing?
She literally watches the same TV shows over and over and over and over again. So
it's just on rotation,
basically.
Okay.
So until she finds like a new one, and then she gets hooked, and then it's
that for until it's over, and then it's rotation.
Yep. So she was in her Buffy rotation, and it amazed me. They literally made a duplicate of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, except for it was like a robot, but it looked identical to Buffy, and they made it act exactly as Buffy would, because Sykes, one of the evil, I don't know if I'd call him really evil vampires in there, but because he's kind of up in... He's a vampire, has a huge giant crush on Buffy, but yet he's evil, but he tries to like win Buffy over by doing good things. Does that...
So like Catwoman.
Kind of, yeah. Best way to describe it. Yeah. He gets so obsessed with Buffy that he has these people make him like an AI version of... It's like a robot version, looks exactly like Buffy, acts exactly like Buffy, and it's crazy that even back then they were able to do stuff like that, and or like, granted, I understand that. I guarantee Sarah, what's her name, was the one probably playing both roles, but I mean, just the fact that you already kind of were predicting a future with
AI,
with robots and AI running it's kind of crazy.
So is there anything else you'd like to add, big boy?
Not really. Just do your research on AI. Don't trust AI.
Yeah, actually. Do research yourself. Use AI to like help you build stories, whatever, but double read them. You know, make sure they look good.
So like you were saying earlier, is like with information and all that stuff. I understand that 90% of us, I would probably say 99, honestly, can probably get hacked because we have like bank informations on our phones and so on and so forth, or we probably have some sort of personal, like there's Cash App now, or there's all these apps that deal with money transactions, I should put it that way. And it kind of really scares me in a sense, because you could have AI hack into something like that, or you're trusting a coded system, or you're trusting an app anybody can get into, or say AI fails and they can send your information somewhere else and somebody can steal your identity. So yeah, why do you think I have 2 phones for work?
So you have 2 phones for work now?
Well, not work, but
Just
work and personal. Yeah, because so long story short, my company makes me have company phone. But I don't trust computers enough. So it was either I sold them my number and they gave me a company phone, or I ended up having 2 phones. I took 2 phones because I don't trust technology enough.
Yeah, you would have got like 20 different spam calls a day.
So with that being said, is I don't trust technology enough, and knowing how easily accessible Apple or iPhones are, however you want to refer to them.
Yes, they're easy well, they're not easy to jailbreak, but they're vulnerable to viruses.
So yeah, so there, like I said, is do a lot of your research, be very, very skeptical of everything. Don't just trust it. Like even Chat GPT, like they have like a warning on the front of it of, hey, this information
may be incorrect,
or hey, this information, the minute you punch it in here, this information may be accessible to like other people, or you know what I mean? It's like they give you.
And then it also says don't put any personal things into it.
That's what I'm trying to.
So are you good? You done? Okay.
There's my rant.
Okay, cool. That is it for today's epic episode of the Fruitful Three Show. AI offers us, AI offers us incredible power, but as Ben Parker always says, with great power comes great responsibilities. As we push forward, it's crucial to ask, are we in control, or is something else pulling the strings? Until next time, keep questioning, stay curious, and remember the truth is often hidden just beneath the surface. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us your thoughts. We'll be back soon with more mind-bending conversations that challenge the way you see this world. Stay sharp, stay fruitful. Peace, love, happiness, and unity.
And we're out.